This is an awkward message to my friends that are in sunny Florida, but my heart is with you 100%. The International Longshoremen Association, in my heart, represents the heart of America. Ever since I was a kid, if you knew someone that was a longshoreman, you knew that they were fighting for decent wages, better education for their kids, and were active in the community. And I'm telling you, the personalities and the leadership that have come out of the trade union movement, there's no one like Richard Hughes. Here's a guy that everybody likes, everybody loves, and what a vacancy his retirement is going to mean. I told Bob McLaughlin that I didn't want to come down there and be crying all over him because I had every reason to believe that I would be there personally. But as you know, this debt ceiling that the Tea Party is causing the president to hold hostage programs that are so important to America requires that I stay here in Washington. I could never explain to anybody when the lives of people that depend on Medicaid for health care, that depend on Medicare because they're aged, and of course Social Security. And this is a time where this same group that want to eliminate and dismantle the so-called entitlements are going after collective bargaining, something that we all fought for, our parents and grandparents. It's almost considered a constitutional right when a group of people are just asking to negotiate for a fair and honest pension as well as for health benefits. And so when you find mayors and governors and indeed Republicans down here saying that our people who worked all their lives with a promise made to them, and now because of reasons that they had nothing to do with, whether it was involving unwarranted wars, whether it was giving tax cuts we couldn't afford to the rich, whether it was not just, as Ronald Reagan did, providing for programs that are unpaid for. The fact is that we have to deal with this $14.3 trillion. You know it and I know it. But when you find people that have lost their homes, lost their self-esteem, lost their jobs, lost their health care, pulling their kids out of school because they can't afford it, not knowing from 1 week, 1 month to the next year what's going to happen, we should be talking about jobs and not being held hostage by groups of people that got elected without any experience and just come down with an anger that they have to get rid of our president for reasons that they developed during their campaigns. But for all of you, you've been the backbone of the trade union movement. You understand it, you breathe it, your families do. When I'm in your presence, it just buoys me up to know that in this great country, we don't take a back seat to anybody. And it's the working people that made this country. It's not just capital, it's not just rich people. You can't move this thing further unless you have the enthusiasm that Americans have as to what? Whether they could get rich? Heck no. Whether they could have a good life and a better life for their family. Whether they can enjoy some of the comforts, a home, a car, a vacation. And now that all of these things are under attack, the greatest thing that I fear that's being taken away from us is hope. Because no matter how rough things are, if you know there's a job tomorrow or next week, or that as a result of going to school when you graduate they need your talents, we can get over it. Most all of us have had parents and grandparents that really have faced some rough times. But for us to spare the very, very rich and to slash the spending on the very, very poor and those that are vulnerable, it's just immoral. I don't even have to get political. It's immoral. And the wonderful thing about your gang is that no one has to lecture you. You can just feel fairness. You can feel what people before you have gone through before we had a trade union movement. And so I did look forward to being down there with you, because I leave excited. It's rough for me to have to explain how the heck did 6 members, some gang members from the Senate, get able to negotiate with the President of the United States, bypass the House of Representatives, bypass the full Senate, bypass the committees, and when I do get home, when this thing is over, And people would say, well, what did you do to save these entitlements? What did you do to stop the wars and to stop the protection that rich people have for tax preferences that they shouldn't have? I, for one, want to be said that you didn't bypass the Congress. I think all Americans ought to be outraged at this process. Not only people who bent into these people, but because these people don't care about our country, they don't care about our process. And even though I know in 2012 they won't be around, I just hope that the scars that they've left, the hopelessness that they left, that we will be cured and get back to feeling like we're proud of Americans, we're proud of our country, we're proud of our president, and we're not going to let any Tea Party people turn us around. I wish I could be with you, but I may just have to have a party in Washington or in New York so I can see my old buddies. Bob McLaughlin, thank you for your friendship over the years, and all of the team that works in Washington to keep us acute as to the problems we have nationally and to make certain that you don't have to look far for friends. We're there for you.